Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to each of you, and thank you for joining today's webinar on the transformative impact of new age clinical trial management systems for clinical operation teams. This webinar is titled From Legacy to Leading Edge, Embracing Next-Gen CTMS. We are set to explore today some pressing challenges faced by clinical ops, including recruitment hurdles, compliance complexities, data tracking difficulties, and the cumbersome process of integrating with existing e-clinical systems. Our discussion will further delve into how modern CTMS solutions, equipped with features for comprehensive trial management, advanced monitoring, and optimized operations, offer a beacon of hope. By providing centralized visibility, ensuring compliance, and facilitating seamless data migration and integration, these solutions promise to revolutionize clinical trial management, enhancing efficiency and success rates. Let's get to know more today. But before we begin, a few housekeeping notes. This session is recorded and all the participants are muted. Should you have any questions, please use the Q&A section to submit your queries, and we'll take them up during the last round of Q&A session. Please ensure your devices are on mute. And if you encounter any technical issues, do not hesitate to inform us in the chat. A recording of the webinar will be posted on our website and emailed to all who have signed up. Moving on to today's flow of the session. We'll cover a quick round of introductions about the speakers and about Cloudbyz before delving into our topic, and end the session with the product demo and the Q&A. We value our time, so we'll be keeping a close eye on the clock to ensure we cover all the content within the allocated time frame. We encourage your active participation by submitting your questions and engaging with our speakers during the Q&A session. We are here to create a dynamic and enriching learning environment for everyone. Moving on, let me introduce our speaker panel for today. Firstly, we have Tunir Das. He is Life Sciences Solution Manager at Cloudbyz and has been associated with the industry for past 8 years. Next, we have Sharath, our pre-sales manager at Cloudbyz and has been associated with the clinical trials industry for the past 7 years. And I'm Pooja Sood, your host and coordinator for today. Now, a quick introduction to Cloudbyz. Cloudbyz eClinical is one of the fastest growing unified clinical trial management solutions in the market. We are 100% built on the Salesforce platform, which provides a unique advantage of being scalable, modular, and configurable as per your business requirements and processes. Our unified eClinical solution helps customers across all sizes, right from Fortune 500 companies to agile and nimble startups, conduct clinical trials efficiently and bring life-saving therapies faster to market and improve patient lives. Globally, we are present in 3 countries, headquartered in Chicago, USA, with our offices in Toronto, Canada, and offshore delivery center in Bengaluru. This setup offers us a unique advantage of servicing our customers across any time zone. Now, let me take you through our eClinical platform. Our flagship product, the CTMS, enables end-to-end project management of clinical trials. Next, we have the CTBM, which is a financial and budget management tool. Moving over to ETMF, it is a document management tool, and the EDC, which is a data management product. Finally, safety and pharmacovigilance product, which manages clinical trial safety and post-marketing pharmacovigilance. In addition to this, we recently launched our cutting-edge AI platform, the clinicalwave.ai, which comprises of ClinRedact, ClinExtract, and ClinDICOM, that helps clinical trial users redact and extract PHI and PII information across trial documents and DICE images. More importantly, all our products seamlessly integrate with each other. And to know more about our product, you can visit our website, www.cloudbyz.com, or you can book a demo by emailing us on info@cloudbyz.com. In terms of global safety regulations, our solutions are 100% compliant to FDA 21 CFR Part 11, GCP, HIPAA, and also Pledge 1%. As an organization, we are ISO 9001 and 27001 certified. And lastly, we are proud to be recognized by the Inc. 5000 as one of the fastest growing companies in America and Startup US as top 5 emerging pharmacovigilance startups. Now, without further ado, I will now hand over to Tunir. Tunir, over to you.
Sure. Thank you, Pooja, for setting the stage with the introductions about Cloudbyz and our products. I would now like to take the discussion forward by speaking about the pressing issues faced by CleanOps teams of today and how a new age CTMS solution would be helpful in effectively overcoming these challenges. So, the challenges that we'll be addressing today include the lack of centralized visibility into patient recruitment, compliance obligations not being met, difficulty in tracking of site data, inadequate onboarding for new team members, and the cumbersome processes of data migration from existing CTMS systems, as well as integration with other e-clinical systems in the client landscape. So now we will briefly go over each of the below challenges. So for the first challenge we have is on recruitment. Well, it is crucial not to assume that all sites will enroll patients readily. In fact, surprisingly, research data has revealed that almost 11% of sites actually fail to enroll even a single patient, while 37% under-enroll. Collaborating with such sites that are high prescribers of the investigational treatments might pose challenges, especially if patients are content with their current medications. For the second challenge on the list, we have is compliance, which is another bottleneck in the clinical trial completion. Coordinating between multiple stakeholders, including sites, partners, and vendors amid stringent regulatory requirements, can become complex. Institutional review board approvals and varying approval speeds further compound these challenges, necessitating careful timeline planning to accommodate potential delays. Next up, effective site management, which is again crucial for trial success, yet it presents its own set of challenges. With a diverse range of sites, each utilizing different data tracking systems, sponsors often face difficulties in tracking data in real time. The fourth challenge is about inadequate onboarding for new team members, particularly in the clinical operations space, which pose significant challenges to study continuity and efficiency. Without proper onboarding and training facilitation, new team members may struggle to understand their roles and responsibilities, leading to potential delays and errors in execution. Lastly, but surely not the least, data migration and integration issues arise when transitioning from legacy CTMS systems. Ensuring a smooth transfer of critical clinical trial information is essential to ensure that there is no loss of study continuity during the transition phase. Moving to the next slide. Okay, so now having learned about these challenges, let's take a look at the regulatory landscape governing these clinical trials, since these guidelines do play a significant role in designing the new age CTMS solutions. So here we have focused majorly on the ICH and the FDA guidelines. So under ICH, we have the ICH E6 R2 GCP, which sets global standards for clinical trial design, conduct, reporting, and prioritization of patient safety. Then there is the integrated addendum under the same section, which further guides document management and risk-based approaches. While the ECH E8 emphasizes upon scientific rigor and data integrity in trial planning and conduct. Moving on to the FDA guidelines, which include FDA 21 CFR Part 312, which sets forth regulations governing investigational new drug applications, outlining the requirements for the conduct of these clinical trials. And FDA 21 CFR Part 11, which establishes standards for electronic records and electronic signatures, ensuring the reliability, authenticity, and integrity of electronic data and systems used in clinical research. So with that, we come to the end of the slide. And before we just move over to the next section, just wish to reiterate that there are multiple other guidelines that define the regulatory landscape of clinical trials, including that of EMA and GDPR from Europe. However, in the interest of time, we have just focused on a few critical ones on the slide. Moving to the next slide. So now, having discussed the challenges in conducting clinical trials and the underlying regulations that govern them, let's now see how modern CTMS systems can actually help in resolving these challenges. So for our first CTMS feature, we have comprehensive trial management. This encompasses centralized trial planning, metrics tracking, and efficient site selection. CTMS systems can seamlessly integrate with ETC solutions to facilitate recruitment and retention and optimize trial management processes for enhanced efficiency and success. Next slide, please. So in this slide, we discuss about advanced monitoring and compliance by providing real-time insight, timely event reporting, and proactive risk management capabilities. Modern CTMS systems empower research sites to uphold the highest standards of compliance with regulatory guidelines and ensure data integrity throughout the trial lifecycle. Next slide, please. So for our third feature, we have the optimized operations and resources management, which minimizes drug wastage, optimizes budget allocation, and facilitates accurate payment calculations to sites without delays. Real-time monitoring of expenses and financial forecasting further enhances operational efficiency of these trials. Moving to the next slide. And feature 4, which is on patient centricity, which prioritizes patient engagement and recruitment. New age CTMS solutions offer real time tracking of recruitment metrics, streamlined management of ICFs, along with advanced data analytics. All of these features empower sites to enhance patient engagement, streamline recruitment efforts, and allow sponsor teams to keep track of site activity all throughout the recruitment phase. Moving to the next slide. So for the last feature, we have what is insightful reporting and collaboration of modern day CTMS systems, which empower seamless collaboration with principal investigators and other external stakeholders. With customizable reporting and dashboard capabilities offered to study teams, they can access real-time insights into trial performance and perform data-driven site feasibility assessments to further enrich the decision-making process. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of identifying the winning features of a new age CTMS system. We'll now go forward and focus our attention on a special segment, which is data migration and integration. So now let's discuss about the two most common questions asked by clients regarding CTMS implementations. The question on integration that often gets asked to CTMS vendors are like, can you seamlessly integrate with the multiple ED systems we have across our different studies? Or it might be, we have multiple third party systems including medical devices or whatever in our landscape. Can your CTMS system integrate with these clinical systems that you have, EDCs, ETMFs, and the PVN safety systems? So an answer to that is any modern CTMS solution should be able to should be able to seamlessly integrate via open APIs, facilitate automated data exchange with other third-party systems, and should definitely have the experience of executing these large-scale integration projects with multiple clinical systems within the client's landscape. Now moving to the next set of questions, which generally revolve around data migration. So the questions can be, like what will happen with our existing data? We have data across multiple therapeutic areas. How can we move all of them? Or it can be how are you planning the migration and what is the cutover approach? So an answer to these questions again would be for any modern CTMS solution, data migration should be as seamless as possible. The eClinical vendor should have an established data migration plan, experience in tools commonly used for data migration, and should be able to guide the clients in receiving the data in a particular format with required definitions that make the migration activity a success. So with that, it brings us to the end of this special segment and the spotlight, and we will move ahead to the last section, which speaks about the common hesitation points that a customer has while onboarding a CTMS vendor, and how, in this particular case, Cloudbyz is a perfect fit. Okay, so customers, they may be sponsors or CROs, may hesitate due to multiple reasons. It might be, the incremental study effort that is required, ongoing maintenance that needs to be done on the system, or the complicated change management process that creeps in, or that comes in when you bring in a new CTMS in your landscape. Or it might be the sponsor or the CRO is actually looking out for a truly unified clinical system that will take care of their end-to-end clinical trial operations, starting from the planning phase all the way till closeout. And these are all red flags when it comes to legacy CTMS. So, we have just tried to explain this in a slightly more visualistic manner in the couple of graphs that we have given on the screen. So if you look on the right hand side of the screen, you will see two graphs which depict the increasing vendor effort for each new study being onboarded to the CTMS system, which is due to the added integrations and the data migrations and a host of other factors that creep in as you keep on loading more studies on these legacy CTMS systems. And because of this additional complexity, the effort also increases correspondingly, which is why the per unit software cost of a study of conducting a study on the CTMS also increases proportionately. So with that, we come to the final slide, which speaks about the Cloudbyz platform and how it is the perfect fit given all the challenges and the hesitations that the customers have while onboarding a CTMS. So now if you look at the Cloudbyz platform, it is truly unified in nature, and our platform comprises of CTMS, ETMF, patient recruitment, EDC, and safety and PB solutions. So with the Cloudbyz platform, we can see that the vendor effort will eventually, hit a plateau after a point of time after a point of time in study onboarding, because of all the training that we provide to the study teams post the initial study setup that we do for them. So effectively, you just pay one time for your studies, and after that you can keep on loading and you keep on onboarding as many studies as you want on that particular CTMS system that we provide to you from Cloudbyz. Now moving to the bottom graph, you can see that even the per unit study cost will also, never really increase proportionately. In fact, it will never breach a particular threshold as well. And the per unit cost will actually keep on decreasing after a point as you keep onboarding new studies on the system. And this is because of the usage of licenses of the previous studies that you close out on the system, as well as the optimizations that we bring in through all the pre-built customizations and the integrations. Okay, so with that, we come to the end of our industry analysis and the product introduction. I will now hand it over to Sharath for a live demonstration of our Cloudbyz CTMS product. Over to you, Sharath. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sunil. Hey, everyone. First of all, we really appreciate you taking the time to join the webinar. Thanks to all of you. Now, let us get started with the live demonstration of the CTMS application. So before we begin, we just wanted to do some level set here. So in the today's demonstration, in the interest of time, we are going to see the overview of all the functionalities at a high level. For the in-depth demo, as our team mentioned, please shoot out an email to info@cloudbyz.com. Or you can visit our website, which is www.cloudbyz.com, and you can schedule a demo directly from there. So let's just speak about the overview of the application right now. So all the Cloudbyz applications, all the eClinical suite of applications are built on top of the Salesforce platform, which comes with the unified capabilities, which is the main USP of our application, right? Each of these applications interacts with each other, which means if you create a study or a site in the CTMS application, you don't have to go and create the same study or the site in the EDC or CTBM or ETMF once again. All the data will be shared across the multiple application. The users don't have to do the data entry multiple times, everyone. Since our application comes with unified capabilities, the analytics across the different platform becomes very easy. So we would be definitely going through the analytics towards the end of this particular demonstration, right? So with that, let's get started. So this is how the homepage of the Cloudbyz CTMS application looks like. So the homepage gives some oversight about what's happening across the different departments within your company, right? So, and also the homepage has multiple options like the tasks, and if there is any items which requires your approval, right? So those would be displayed in the homepage. Additionally, it displays the tabs like today's events and today's tasks and etc. Right? So what we can also do within our application is in your company, you would be having multiple departments, right? Like, so the homepage can be configured according to each of the department. Like, for example, data management department logs into the CTMS application, they will be able to see a separate set of dashboard. And for example, site monitoring department logs into the application, they will be able to see a separate set of dashboard which are relevant to them, right? So that's mainly, from a homepage perspective. Let's jump over to the next section, which is the accounts. So accounts are nothing but, it's the external business entity whom you work with as a sponsor or a CRO or as a site. You would be working with a lot of external entities. Like, for example, in our system, you would be able to track multiple type of stakeholders or the external entities whom you work with, like CROs or depot or site or a supplier or any software vendors, etc. You would be able to create a different type of accounts by using our application. So in the interest of time, we already have put in some data into the system. We'll just look at this particular account, which is called as Accurate Clinical Research. So Accurate Clinical Research is a site, right? So if we scroll down further, we would be able to see a lot of information about that, like phone number, fax, and if there is any vendor number or any account number you have as a part of your organization's practices, right? So that can also be tracked over here. Then the system also allows you to track the segmentation information and the IRB review information, and scrolling down. So additionally, we have a lot of options to track about the subjects who got enrolled, and the protocol adherence can be tracked as a part of this particular account. And additionally, there are information like the billing address and the shipping address can also be tracked as a part of this particular account. So you would be able to design all these pages according to your needs of your organization. Every field, every list value you see in the system can be completely configurable according to your organization needs, right? So for example, in this case, under Accurate Clinical Research, you would be working with multiple folks, right? So those can be tracked under the contacts. So here we have multiple contact information like Timbar, John, and we have a lot of folks which has been which we have tracked over here, right? So let's just pick one example for today's demonstration. Let's just look at the contact of Timbar, right? So under the contact of Timbar, who is associated to the account Accurate Clinical Research, so you as a user, you would be able to track multiple information like the role, and additionally the department, and if there is any IDs which can also be tracked, and phone number and email, right? So that can also be tracked as a part of your contact, which is in this case Mr. Timbar, right? So all these accounts and contacts are just one-time setup. So once you set up the accounts and contacts, in our CTMS application, it will be reutilized at various other places, right? Not only that, if you have a list of accounts and contacts whom you're working with in any of your legacy systems, or if you have an Excel or Google sheet, you would be you can just give that particular data to us. During the course of the project implementation, our team will just load that particular data into the system. Basically, the data can be migrated from your Excels or from your legacy systems as well, right? So that's more from an account and contact perspective. Now let us jump deep into the main part of the application, which is called studies. So let me go to the next tab. So here, over here, you're able to see the study related information, right? So here, as you can see here, there are various studies which are getting tracked under this studies tab. So point number one, right? So there is no upper limit on the number of studies which can be tracked within the system, right? And not only that, as we just mentioned, if you have any legacy systems, or if you're maintaining your study or your trial related data in Excel or Google Sheet, our project team will be able to help you out to migrate all of those study related data also within our system, right? So that's more from a studies perspective. So this is just a bird's eye view of once we put in all the studies, like for example, in our system, we have somewhere around 48 studies, and this is how the study is going to look like once we put in all the data, right? So with that, let's just pick one study for today's demonstration, which is the cardiac arrest 2284 study. So let me just click on the cardiac arrest study, right? So just like how we were tracking some information about the accounts and contacts, similarly, we're going to track the information of the study as well, right? So I'll just give you a quick scroll through of how this page looks like, and I'll just explain some important parameters which are getting tracked over here. So here we are tracking the name of the study, right? Which is the cardiac arrest 2284, the status, the recruitment status, the therapeutic area, the indication, right? And the phase of the study, those are all getting tracked as a part of this particular study page. And just an indication, right? All these pick list values and all the fields, whatever you see over here is completely customizable and configurable according to your requirements, everyone, right? So let me scroll down further. So here we are again able to track a lot of information like the title, the outcomes of the study and etc., right? The primary outcome, the secondary outcome, what is a benefit and what is a risk which is associated with that particular study, right? Again, we also track some more information like how many sites we are planning to enroll and how many subjects we are planning to enroll as a part of that particular study. And also we do track key dates like first patient in and also the last patient last visit, which is the FPFP and the last patient last visit. And also we have a section where you would be able to track the inclusion criteria and the exclusion criteria along with min and max age. And if you're running any race studies or any gender specific studies, right? So those information can also go over here. So all of this information would be available to you in the protocol document. So you would be running your study for 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, right? So you can just this is just a one-time setup. Once you put in the data, any user in your organization, right, they'll be just able to come to the study page and they will be able to see what is the inclusion or the exclusion, etc., because all the users, would be probably working across multiple studies. So it's an easy access of information, everyone. So in the interest of time, we are just moving on to the next section, which is the planning. So when you click on the planning tab, you would be able to see multiple sections, which is called milestone and tasks. So as a part of your study, you would have a lot of milestones, right? So all the milestones, which are related to your studies can be tracked under the milestones tab, right? So not only that, our system also provides an ability to drill it down to a task level as well. So for example, in this case, let's take clinical infrastructure ready, or let's say annual IRB or IEC renewal, right? So once you under that particular milestone, you will be able to see a lot of tasks underneath that as well. So that is what is being shown over here, everyone, right? Which is the tasks which are related to certain milestones. So moving on to the next section, which is the study teams. So as a part of in your organization, probably like a lot of users or a lot of employees would be working on multiple studies, right? So the study team gives you an easy insight of who is working on what study, right? So here you can track the project manager, the CRAs or CRCs, the data manager, medical monitor, who are part of that particular study, right? So the information about that can be tracked under study team, right? So at any point of time, the C-level executives or the head of the departments can just come into the study and see, hey, who is working as a part of the study, right? So easily these information can be accessed by anyone within the organization, right? So that's that's a bird's eye view of the study team, what we see here. So moving on, so we have a lot to cover. So the next section, which explains about the regulatory submission checklist. So as a part of your study process, right, you may have to submit a lot of documents, to your regulatory, like, you may have to submit a lot of documents like ICFs or investigator brochures and a lot of documents, informed consent forms, all of this to your ethics committee or IRBs and etc., right? All the documents, which are related to the regulatory submission can be tracked over here. The best part is, you would be able to track when the document has been submitted. And additionally, the status of these documents can also be tracked over here, as you can see. right? And the best part about the regulatory submission checklist is directly from here. Let's say, for example, you submitted an IRB, I would say an investigative brochure to your regulatory, right? Right from the regulatory submission checklist, which is present in the ETMF, you would be able to upload that particular investigative brochure document directly into your CTMS, right? So once we reach the site, we have some features. We will definitely show you how you can easily dump the site document into your ETMF in that particular demonstration. So next is we have IRB and the IEC approval details. So all that can be tracked over here. So I may request the audience to focus on this section called as protocol. So a lot of you, during a course of study, you may have a lot of protocol amendments and etc. Right? So this protocol section gives you a overview of which protocol has been amended and which protocol is currently in progress. All the protocol version number, starting from your 1.0 till the current protocol version numbers, you would be able to track all of that under this particular protocol section, right? So at any point in time, the study team or the executive team can just come here and see, hey, cardiac arrest study, the protocol number 2.01 or 2.02 is currently in progress, right? So that's more about the overview of the protocol section. So moving on. So we have another option, which is called as study arm. So as a part of your study, you'll be running, you will be having multiple arms like experimental, interventional, placebo arms, and etc. Right? So all of the arms you would be able to track here under the section, which is called as study arms. Right? So that's more of what you can track from a planning perspective. Right? So with that, let us just jump into the next section, which is called as projections. So in the Cloudbyz CTMS, our projection allows you to track two things. One is, when you're going to activate your site, basically the site activation projections can be tracked as a part of the projections module, as you can see here. So here you have, how many new sites you're planning to enroll and how many sites cumulative, right? And we also have an option where you can, do projections in the region wise as well, right? And you have an option where you can just choose what year it is, right? And the system would show you the projections for that particular year. Not only that, our system comes with reporting capabilities of the projection as well, where in the line graph you will be able to see on which month we have what is the planned and what is the actual enrollment, everyone, right? So you also have a quarterly view of how many sites you're planning to enroll, and there is a yearly view as well, which is available for everyone. Not only that, the system also gives you a ability to reproject these projections, right, at any point of time in your study. So let's say if there is if you want to enroll more sites, or if you want to decrease your site or subject enrollment, there is an option where you can reproject by using this pencil icon, and system will accordingly reproject with your new data, right? So this is just scrolling through. So this is the patient enrollment projection, which you can see over here. So just like how we saw the site activation projection, so you have a projection view for year, month, quarter. So all those particular options are available, and definitely our system comes with line graph where you will be able to see the actual enrolled actual projected versus the actual enrolled everyone, right? So with that, let us just quickly jump into the next section, which is the feasibility survey. So all the planning for your study is done currently. Now we are venturing into let's assume we're venturing into the startup phase, right? So as a part of this particular in this phase, right, so we'll be scouting for potential sites. Our feasibility survey module helps you to scout sites very faster. So during the start of our demonstration, already you would have seen we have captured the accounts and contacts, right? So by using the feasibility survey module, you would be able to send these surveys to your potential sites. So it's extremely simple. We'll just quickly show you. So the users have to click on the plus button. Here the users will be able to select the contacts and what contact is associated. Like, for example, you can choose any contact like Alistair Cook or John Doe, anything, right? And you would be able to select the email templates. So these all comes, pre-configured within our system, right? So you have an email body over here. From here, you can just trim down what is required and what is not required, right? So if you want to add something, that can also be added over here. So you would be able to send, emails. So basically, you will be able to send bulk emails directly right from the feasibility survey module, right? So not only that, our system works on a concept called as templates. So just by using point and click configuration, you would be able to set up these feasibility survey form. 0% coding is involved. So all of the users, would be able to just set up these forms, right? With the type of the field and the values of that particular field, whatever is required, all of that can be just by using the point and click, you would be able to set up those things, right? So once you preview this form, like it's a pretty long form. So in the interest of time, I'm not going into the details. And when you click on send, the system would shoot out an email. Like, for example, in this case, we have just sent an email to one of our email IDs, and the email would come through like this. As you can see here, so here, during the implementation phase, your company's logo would be, put up over here, right? So when you see this information, like all of this information, we have already captured as a part of our study page, right? Which is being reutilized. As I mentioned, you just have to put the accounts, contacts, and studies information just for one time across, our eClinical suite of application. All the information will be reutilized. That's exactly what's happening over here. Therapeutic area, the inclusion criteria, the exclusion, and etc. The potential investigators or your potential sites whom you're scouting for will be able to see all the study related information in the body of the email, and the investigator will click on the take survey. So once they click on the take survey, they will land on a particular page like this. Definitely your logo would come on the top, right? So here, this explains about the study details, like who is the sponsor, the title, the inclusions and exclusions, and etc. Right? So additionally, not only that, so all of this data is being picked up from the CTMS real time. So let's say there's a protocol amendment. If you want to update your inclusion and exclusion, you just have to update it in your CTMS. So instantly, within a fraction of seconds. So all the data would be updated directly in the system. So the investigator would click on the take feasibility survey. And as you can see here, the questions, whatever we have just by point and click, whatever questions we have configured is displaying over here. This is what the investigator would see, everyone. Right? So I'm just, filling out some questions just to give you some touch and feel of the system. So here the investigator would also have an option to leave their comments as well. So in the interest of time, I'm not going to fill each and every question, right? I'm just going to go to the last section of the form. Additionally, you would be able to mark any of these questions also mandatory. So when you mark any of these questions mandatory at a template level, the system will not allow the investigator to save the form unless a particular question is answered by your potential investigator. So I'm just going to scroll through. So just going to answer a few things. And once all of these questions are answered, there is a declaration which is available in the bottom, right? So, and when the investigator clicks on submit, the system will show this page where it says the survey has been submitted successfully. And there is a timer basically which you can set up. So within that particular time frame, which is in this case is 24 hours, the investigator can come anytime and they would be able to edit the responses in 24 hours. After 24 hours, the survey will be locked and there will be no change of responses which will be allowed everyone. So within fraction of seconds, what the system would do is it will store all the data in your CTMS system. So I'll just quickly show you that. I'm just refreshing my clinical studies screen and let's go to the startup. So here, as you can see, John Doe. So we have just filled in all the information. We have just put some comments as lorem ipsum, which is just appearing over here. And there are a lot of analytics options which are present, right? So for a detailed demonstration, you can definitely schedule a demo with our team. Right. Additionally, as a part of our system, you would be able to track the training as well, like any study-specific training which has to be provided. Those can also be tracked, right? So that's more from a training perspective as well, everyone. And additionally, the system also provides you an ability to see the adverse event or the protocol deviation data, which comes from your EDC. So from the, as you can see, your AE and PD data are coming directly from your EDC systems, right? So you can just look at how many AEs and PDs has happened more from a monitoring perspective. You would be able to see that directly from the CTMS. So moving on to the next section, which is the sites. So we can have a lot of intelligent automations which can be written in the system. Like for example, when you say, so you sent a feasibility survey and you said this site looks good for enrollment, then what the system would do is when you say this feasibility status as true, the system can do a lot of automations in the backend and it can automatically create the clinical site for you. So these automations can be configured during the course of your implementation. So under the clinical site tab, here, these are all the list of practices who are taking part in this particular study. So as you can see here, we have like almost 10 sites over here and with different status. So this gives you a list of your sites who are participating in your particular study. So for today's demonstration, we will pick up this particular site called as site number 100, which is 100 bar, right? So yeah. So we have, this is the clinical site record page, as you can see here. So in the page, you would be able to embed some cool looking graphs like this. So here you can easily see, we just mentioned about the patient enrollment projection graph, right? So you would get some graph like this. So what is, the patient you have planned and what is the number of patient which has been enrolled, right? System gives you some graphs like this, in the site page itself. It's pretty interactive. So as a part of this particular site page, we are tracking a lot of information like the site number, the address of the site, and additionally the site activation time, right? And the system also allows you to track a lot of milestone dates, which is basically like when did I identify that site? When was my investigational product which has been shipped to that particular site? All of those information can be will be tracked as a part of this key milestone date section, everyone. So also we have an essential document status, which is basically nothing but the site startup documentation. We have a as you can see here, we have a progress of what is the essential documentation or the site startup documentation status for that particular site, right? Additionally, we have a lot of key risk indicators as well, which will be automatically rolled up by the system from your respective applications. So now let's just move on to the next section, which is the startup. So just like how we tracked the information of your study team members, right? You can easily track the information of the external sites whom you're working with. If you're a sponsor or a CRO, you'll work with external sites for multiple studies. The site team information can also be tracked over here. So the project managers or the the data managers, when they're trying to raise a query or when they're trying to reach a site, they can just come here and just view all the information at one glance, right? So additionally, there are multiple milestones and tasks can also be tracked as a part of this particular site, right? So we explained about the milestones and tasks at the study level. The same concept applies here as well. So here is where, the site startup documentation comes into picture. So let me just click on view all, just to give you a thorough view. So these are the essential documents which has to be submitted by your site in order for them to start the enrollment, right? So all of these documents, as you can see here, comes with respective statuses. And additionally, we also told you that, our systems are completely unified, right? So we'll just show you an example of, how right from the CTMS, which is the essential document, how you can directly upload the document into your eTMF. So what we would do is, let's just pick one particular essential document. In this case, I think it's current CVs, which is the CV of the core sub-ICE, right? So let's just see how, easily you can store the document into your eTMF right from your CTMS, everyone. Right? The users will come over here and say the status as complete. And when you click on complete, as you can see, the indicator has gone green. So we have an option called as eTMF upload. So all the system interacts with each other. So here you would be able to choose whatever is your relevant folder. Let's say, for example, in this case, I'm choosing PICV folder, right? And when you click on next, the system will give you an eTMF upload option. With this, I can just click on the upload file, and I'm just choosing some random document over here. And when you say, as you can see, the file is getting uploaded right from the CTMS. And when you say next, the system tells you, hey, the document has been successfully uploaded into your eTMF. When you go into your eTMF, you will be able to find the document which I just uploaded from my CTMS system. So that's one such example of how all our systems interact with each other. So there is all the heavy lifting which you have to do, or the users have to do, will be completely taken care by our eClinical suite of applications, which are unified in nature. So with that, I think we, in the interest of time, I think we have to conclude the essential documentation part and move to the next part, which is the site monitoring. So as a part of your monitoring process, right, you will have SQVs, SIVs, IMVs, and COVs, right? So our system comes with the capability to track all these monitoring reports in the system itself. Just like how you are able to set up the feasibility survey questionnaires, you would be able to easily set up all these monitoring report questionnaires or the site monitoring questionnaires or your trip report questionnaires by just using the templates option. So here, under the monitoring section, you have a tab which says the monitoring calendar. So under this monitoring calendar, which is specific to that particular site, explains about, when is your monitoring activity going to happen, right? So these are some of the examples, which we have just put. There is, different views also available, right, which can be utilized. So let me quickly show you one monitoring report, which we have already created. In the interest of time, I'm just showing it to you. So definitely, we'll be able to provide you a detailed demonstration. So you know the drill. You just have to visit our website and please schedule for an in-depth demo. Our team would be able to help you with that. So this is an IMV which is created for the site 100 bar, as you can see here. So this questionnaire is configurable. It is completely 0% coding involved. It can be done by any users. So here, I'm just opening some sections and I'm just going to add some responses as a CRA or a CRC. So you can capture all of the information. If there is any additional details which you want to, if you want to tell or if you want to specify, right, that can also be, pretty much you can just mention that by clicking on the add details. So it's a pretty long form. So you can also, track all the adverse events you monitored, and this is the investigational product, the essential documentations, and etc., and the handling procedure of the IPs. Everything, as per your standard operating procedures, all of these questionnaires can be pre-built into the system with the help of the templates, right? So finally, we also have an action item, so which you can, any action item which has to be followed up with the investigator can also be tracked up over here, everyone. Not only that, any action item, from our previous SQV visits or SIV visits, that will also appear under this particular previously identified action items. So we may have identified some action items in our SQV and SIV visit or in any of our previous IMV visits as well. Those will show up over here. So that's more from an monitoring report perspective. Additionally, we do have functionalities like the confirmation letter and the follow-up letter can also be directly sent to your sites right from the system. And the system also supports the approval process wherein, for example, your CRA is filling the monitoring report and a lead CRA has to review it before you file your trip report into your ETMF, right? There is an option called submit for approval. As you can see here, the CRA can submit it to the lead CRC or the lead CRA, right? And there is a query mechanism between the lead CRA and the CRA, basically the reviewer and the submitted, right? Those options are also pretty much present within the system, right? So not only that, we do have the PDF capabilities as well. So whatever we have filled in can be extracted as a PDF output. So that's what you can see over here. Additionally, we do have a capability whereas you can directly upload this PDF report within just one click into your ETMF as well, everyone. So with that, that's all more from a CTMS demo functionalities, which we wanted to showcase it to you today. So finally, we would end the session with the reports and dashboards. So there are two reports and dashboards, which we would like to show it to you. So I'm just going to click on the project management and oversight dashboard, right? So this is the basic reports and dashboards, which are available as a part of our system, right? So here, let me just click on this particular report. It just gives me lot of graphs, as you can see, like site activation, how many subjects are enrolled, and the adverse events and the protocol deviation, right? And not only that, so all of these dashboards and reports can also be configured by the end users. This also does not involve any coding effort from the technical team side. So this is how the reporting of our tool looks like. This can be used, it can be downloaded, the charts can be downloaded, and it can be used in your status meetings or any executive meetings you have, or the presentation you want to give to your the higher management, right? These graphs can be downloaded and that can be utilized as a part of your Google Slides or the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation, which you want to showcase it to your peers. So additionally, you would be able to drill it down to a particular report as well. So here I'm just drilling it down to a particular report. And so multiple reports combines to form a dashboard. So here we are drilling it down to a particular report. The system comes with a functionality where you would be able to export this particular tabular format of information into an Excel as well. Like when I click on the export, you'll be able to do that. Additionally, there are multiple options you can use, like bar column, and you have a donut chart, and there is a line chart, and etc. It's completely configurable in nature. This can be done by any end users. So we also have some advanced capabilities, so we mentioned, that all the systems are unified in nature. So we have some advanced capabilities, as you can see here. So across the application, right? So you'll be able to see the analytics over here. So you have some study management. So under the study management, you're able to see how many studies by phase and etc. And the best part is these advanced dashboards are interactive in nature. When you click on one particular status, or for example, on any particular data point, right, the rest of the other data points would vary, right? So here I'm just going to say phase one study. The system is going to give me the data only for the phase one study. So I'm just giving you a view of how the system is looking like, right? So, and this is the study management, and this is just an overview of the study startup, right? And here, all additionally from our CTBM, you have the finances data which are coming in, right? Which is the paid amount and the subject payments, what we have made and etc. And there are multiple options like site monitoring and the how many AEs and SAEs and etc., which are coming from our CTMS, the site performance metrics. And additionally, we do have the subject management, which comes from the Cloudbyz ADC, right? Which you can just have a view of that over here. And additionally, we have AEs and PDs as well. So that's, you can also set up some intelligent notifications as a part of this reporting or the analytics capability. So you would receive a notification directly to your respective emails, everyone. So with that, that concludes, the demonstration of our CTMS system. So with that, I'll just pass it on to Pooja from here.
Thank you so much, Sharath, for a detailed demo. Everyone, like if you need to see a more detailed demo in person and want and have more questions around it, you can always shoot us an email at info@cloudbyz.com, and we can schedule the best available time with you. With that, yes, we have just 4 minutes left to conclude the webinar. So, but we do have a couple of questions that have come in to us. Please feel free if you would like to stay back for additional few minutes, and we'll be happy to continue this session. So the first question that I have is from Jake. Can you provide examples of the types of reports and dashboards available in your CTMS product? Sharath, would you want to take this up?
Sure, definitely. I mean, so we do have, multiple types of reports and dashboards, which can be, so as a part of our standard solution, we do have more than 100 plus reports, which comes as a part of our package. You can, you can slice and dice the data, into bar graphs or the horizontal charts and, line charts and etc., right? And multiple dashboards are also available within the system, which can be it's completely configurable and customizable as well, Jake. So we did a live demonstration of that just now. So hope we're able to answer the question.
Right. Right. So the next question was, do you offer a trial period for your CTMS product? If yes, how can we request for a trial period?
Yeah, I'll take that. So yeah, so there is a trial period of a month that's available through the sandboxes that we have. So if anybody wishes to take up a trial if the CTMS, just drop an email to us, and the sales will get in touch with you, and we can provision an org a trial log where you can play out with the system and ask as many questions as you have after that. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Dunir, on that. Next question is, can you tell me more about your system sharing data with other stakeholders in the studies? Dunir,
Sure.
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 I'll take the question. Yeah, sure. I'll take that question. So I think this question is inferring more from a data visibility standpoint. So as a part of our system, we have we have the ability to control the records and also the field visibility, which is completely driven by a point and click configuration called profiles and permission set. By deploying that, we'd be able to control all the data sharing and also the field sharing also, Charmin.
Right. Thanks, Sharath, on that one. Another question is, what level of support is available for customers using your CTMS product? Sharath, you want to take this up?
So, I can take that up. So yeah, we have different levels of support. We have both product support as well as technical support for our, for our CTMS. So, depending upon the requirement, we can definitely get in touch and, discuss. And, these support packages, they all come with their own SLAs and, the percentages of cost. So, yep, I think, once we get into a demo discussion with anyone, we can discuss about the support packages as well. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Sunil. And whoever has asked this question, you can always reach out to us to schedule this meeting based on your availability at info@cloudbyz.com, and our team would be happy to answer all your questions. The next question is, can you provide more information about the pricing model for your CTMS product? Sunil, you want to pick this up?
Yeah, so the pricing model that we have consists of annual license fee for the CTMS, and apart from that there is just one-time setup fee, which is a nominal fee for the study setup. And like during that particular process, we'll also provide training to these the customers and the end users, and based on the training that we provide, they can set up as many studies as they want. So just wish to highlight that as long as you have active licenses from Cloudbyz, you will be able to set up as many studies as you want on the system. There is absolutely no limit on the number of studies that you want to create, and there is no incremental cost to it as well. Thank you.
Right. Thanks so much, Dunit, for that. The next question is, can you explain how essential documentation is handled within your CTMS and what types of essential documents are supported? Sharath, you would want to take this up?
Sure. I mean, all the types of essential documentation, can be handled as a part of our system. Any type of document can also be uploaded. And we showed you, how the essential document can be directly tied to your eTMF as well. So within just a click, you can upload the document right from the essential document page into your eTMF.
Great. Thanks so much, Sharath, for that. The next question is, so if you have time, okay, sorry, can you talk about how your CTMS handles regulatory submission checklists and ensures compliance? Sharath, you want to pick this up?
Oh, yeah, sure. So just like, how we explained about the regulatory, the essential documentation, and the same applies to the regulatory submission checklist as well. So, that's how, the regulatory submission checklist are handled.
Thank you so much, Sharath. Great. So we have okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Should you have more questions, please feel free to reach out to us at info@cloudbyz.com. And lastly, before we wrap up, just remember to look out for a follow-up email containing the webinar recording, additional resources, and ways to stay connected with our community. Also, please keep an eye on our website for updates on future webinars and events. Thank you once again for being a part of this insightful journey. Until then, we'll see you next month with our next webinar. Wish you all a good day.